It would tell you about the most unsexy business idea I've ever heard of that made someone a millionaire. Not crypto, not an app, not a tech startup with a ping pong table and a mission statement about disrupting the industry. A vending machine route. A guy in Ohio, 47 machines, gas stations, laundromats, office buildings, small gyms. He drives around twice a week to restock them. Total working hours per week, about 11. And the annual income is over $200,000. And when I first heard that, my immediate reaction was, that is so boring. And then I sat with that for a second and I thought, wait, is boring the actual point? Here's the thing. The businesses that get the most attention, crypto projects, startups, influencer brands, are the ones that require your constant presence, carry enormous risk, and have a 90% failure rate within 5 years. Meanwhile, the businesses that quietly generate income while their owners sleep, travel, or do literally anything else, those are almost always boring, unglamorous, easy to dismiss. Today I'm covering 5 of them with real math, and by the end of this video, I think you're going to look at boring very differently than you do right now. My name is Yang. I cover crypto, personal finance, and real wealth building strategies on this channel. If you want content that prioritizes actual results over excitement, subscribe and hit the like button below. Let's get into the 5 businesses. Before the list, some context that I think genuinely reframes this entire conversation. The Small Business Administration reports that approximately 20% of new businesses fail within the first year. By year 5, nearly 50% are gone. But here's what the headline statistics doesn't tell you. The failure rate varies by business type. Businesses with low overhead, recurring revenue, essential services, and no dependency on trends or virality survive at dramatically higher rates than flashy, high-concept ventures. In other words, boring businesses survive. Here's what most people don't realize. The psychological pull toward exciting business ideas is actually a wealth trap. Our brains are wired to find novelty compelling and routine unremarkable. But in business, unremarkable often means recession-proof. And recession-proof means you're still generating income when everyone else's exciting venture is shutting down. The 5 businesses I'm about to show you are all boring, they're all proven, and they all share one thing in common. They generate income that is largely decoupled from your daily hours worked. Let's count them down. We start with the one I mentioned in the opening, and I want to give you the real numbers, not the optimistic version, not the worst case version, the actual math. Ten machines generating conservative $200 net each per month. That's $2,000 per month or $24,000 per year. Working roughly 10 to 15 hours per week on restocking and maintenance. Here's the business model insight that makes vending work. You're essentially renting shelf space in high-traffic locations and charging a convenience premium on products people already want. There is no marketing, no client acquisition, no social media presence required. The machine sells while you're asleep, while you're at dinner, while you're watching this video. The objection I hear most, I don't have $5,000 to start. Fair. Start with one used machine at $800. Place it in a local gym, run it for 6 months. Use the profit to buy machine 2. This is a business that scales from a single asset, and it never requires you to be interesting online. Business 2, and this one has a stat attached to it that I still can't quite believe. Laundromats are boring businesses that reliably throw off cash. The failure rate is under 5%, lower than almost any other retail concept. In an industry where 20% of businesses fail in year 1, laundromats fail at less than 5% over their entire operating life. Laundromat failure rate is under 5%, recession resistant, people wash clothes regardless of economic conditions. Cash-heavy business, immediate revenue, no invoicing, no accounts receivable. Minimal staff required. Many operate completely unattended. This is where it gets really interesting because laundromats are also one of the most financeable small businesses in America. SBA loans specifically cover laundromat acquisitions because the cash flow is predictable and the failure rate is so low that banks consider them low risk. You can acquire an existing laundromat with an SBA loan using as little as 10% down. $20,000 down. A business generating $90,000 per year in net income. That's a real return on a boring investment that most people drive past every day without a second thought. Business 3 shifts gears. Because this one has zero physical overhead and scales to essentially unlimited revenue without adding a single dollar of additional cost per sale. Digital products, templates, spreadsheets, Notion dashboards, Canva packs, study guides, budget planners, social media kits, resume templates. Look at this, a PDF ebook, $40, 238 sales. That seller made $9,500 from one PDF, built once, sold hundreds of times, with zero inventory cost, zero shipping, zero customer service beyond the download link. For $27 per product, 15 sales per day, completely achievable with the right SEO on Gumroad, Etsy, or consistent traffic from a social media account. $12,150 per month from one product, built on a weekend. Here's a psychological shift that makes digital products powerful. You're breaking the time for money equation entirely. Every other business on this list still requires some of your time, restocking machines, collecting coins, maintenance. A digital product generates revenue whether you're working, sleeping, traveling, or sick. The decoupling of time and income is as complete as it gets in a legitimate business model. The objection? What would I even sell? Think about what you already know. A skill, a system, a process. A template you built for yourself that saved you hours. If it saves you time, it will save someone else's time, and people pay for that. Business 4, and this one genuinely surprises people when they hear the numbers. Private ATM ownership. You've seen independently owned ATMs in convenience stores, bars, nightclubs, hotels, and small retailers. Many of those machines are not owned by the business. They're owned by private individuals who place them there in exchange for a surcharge split. $15 machines at a conservative $300 net each, $4,500 per month, or $54,000 per year. Visiting each machine roughly once or twice per month to load cash or troubleshoot. The business model is simple. You provide the machine, the cash, and the maintenance. The location provides foot traffic. Every time someone pays $3 to get their own money, you keep the surcharge. At scale, that is a significant passive income stream from a business most people have never considered owning. Business 5, and I saved this one for last because the industry numbers are almost unreasonably good. Self-storage is one of the only asset classes that performs better during economic contractions than during expansions. When people lose jobs, downsize homes, go through divorces, or relocate, they need storage. Demand goes up when the economy goes down. $21,000 per year from 10 containers, with virtually zero active management once they're placed and rented. Tenants access their unit on their own schedule. You collect payment, increasingly automated through online billing. The business runs itself. At a larger scale, a full self-storage facility, the numbers multiply significantly. But the entry point through portable containers or small facilities makes this accessible without institutional capital. Here's the thing about every business on this list. None of them will make you famous. None of them will get you featured in a startup magazine. None of them have a viral origin story or a charismatic founder narrative. They are, by every conventional measure, deeply boring. And that is precisely why they work. The most reliable path to financial freedom has almost never run through the exciting idea. It runs through the overlooked one. The thing people drive past every day, the business model that's been working for 30 years without anyone making a YouTube video about it, until now. Every single business on this list can be started with less than $20,000. Most can be started with less than $5,000. All of them generate income that doesn't require you to show up every day to keep it running. And all of them have been building quiet and glamorous wealth for people who were smart enough to choose boring over exciting. You now have five of them. The only question is which one you're going to research this week. If this gave you a new way of looking at passive income, hit the like button. Subscribe for a weekly content on real wealth building strategies, crypto, and personal finance. And drop a comment below. Which of the five boring businesses surprised you the most? And which one are you looking into first? I read every comment below. See you next time. Bye!